As I got you, yeah, everything is gonna be alright. I know it will. Be alright. Oh, yeah.
Long as I got you. What up?
What up, man?
Do we get docked for for punching in late?
I don't know. Who's paying us?
Exactly. I blame the pastor.
Welcome to the
So
Saturday morning show.
welcome, bro. It must be nice over there, man. You outside?
Yeah, trying to enjoy it, soaking the sun. This melanin needs some sun, you know.
You sure do.
Welcome back once again. I'm your host, Chuck.
Zig.
Zig right next to me. Want to welcome you to the show where we are two Christian brothers trying to make sense of it all. News,
Absolutely.
current events, and everything in between.
So speaking of in between, did you check out the sex show?
Yes, sir. That aired last week. In case you missed it, with Pastor Tim.
Oh, that was a really good, interesting conversation, man. I feel like my life was changed. I feel like I learned a lot of stuff I wasn't supposed to know. Like I'm like, yo, I'm not sure I was even supposed to be allowed in the room.
Well, I mean, that's why I had Lovely do the show, you know.
I'm like, this is interesting. This is one of them joints where it's like, maybe I should just listen. But no, it was a dope conversation though. So if you haven't checked it out, you don't know what we're talking about, head on over to the YouTubes, to the Facebooks, and you know what I'm saying? Check it out. Change your life. But before we go any further, without further ado, we'd like to introduce you a prayer. Kind and gracious Heavenly Father, please be with us this day. Be with those that are viewing, those who should be viewing, and those who will be viewing. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. Happy Sabbath, y'all. What's up, Rachel? What's up, Candace? Happy Sabbath to y'all. Thanks for coming.
Right. Did you check out the Back Down Memory Lane?
Yeah, I saw you. I posted that a couple weeks back. That was a nice little rerun, little blend of where we've been, you know.
Yeah, and so today we'll have a special guest joining us. In a little bit, you know what I'm saying? A little bit. We got some stuff going on. We got church opening back up for us here in Pontiac, Michigan. So for those of you who don't have a church home, you want some place to be with some good folks. We ain't got no food because we can't do potlucks.
Right. No potluck right now.
We can't do potlucks right now. But what we do, we'll make sure we save you a plate. We will make sure we save you.
So you going back to church?
Today? No. Yeah. No, I'm in the booth, the digital booth.
The virtual booth away.
The virtual booth. So I'll be managing the Facebooks and the YouTubes for all those people. I don't know who's gonna do the Zoom. I told you, man, I'm protesting. So I hope somebody whoever is out there listening needs to get on the Zoom and take care of that for a brother. You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
But will you be going back? I heard you fully vaccinated.
Oh, I mean, yeah. That's Eventually. I think part of the thing for us is like it's inconvenient because there's nothing for the kids. It's just the service. So for those that you don't know, so church is opening back up. Today's first day of in-person service, and the plan is to continue in-person service, pending another pandemic. So the service will be condensed. It will just be the sermon. There's some social distancing still going on. And I think there's a lot of room to do stuff. I talked to Pastor Bartley yesterday. His church is out there in North Kakalaki. They're opening up too. And so there'll be an opportunity for things to happen, things to take place. A lot of people have missed out on just the fellowship. And, but my hope is that people will not forget that building, the institution, is not the church. That's my hope.
Yeah, I mean, I think through the pandemic we've seen that the building isn't just the church, but I'm wondering though if like you're gonna have kind of the opposite effect where everyone's like, I've been doing good not going to the physical church this last year and a half. I think we can manage to continue to do that. So yeah, I don't know, man. Some people are gonna be like, I think I'm gonna stick with this virtual thing.
But I think that's a good thing too, because again, we've said this before. The church has been able to just meet the needs of so many other people. We've been able to reach out to other people. Even with this, right? I looked at some of the stats. It was like somebody from Ireland was watching. And so, the fact that these virtual sessions, whether it be church or all these other things, I hope these things don't go away because, a lot of people have been reached, and, this is just, us using the tools that God gave us to go ye therefore. And I mean, hey, I'm with it. I think personally for me, I'm just more interested in now that I've kind of been revitalized. It's been sort of a revival, so to speak. And so now I'm like, I'm kind of like, where's the ministry, right? I'm not so much interested in the building because I think from what you're saying, right, I can get the sermon online. The thing you can't get online is like the boots on the ground ministries that we should be doing.
Yep. So, I think a lot of people will. Let me not say a lot. I think some people may not have that same mindset, which is interesting. It's I think that overall the pandemic, the church is able to do good throughout the pandemic, but I think this is a side effect maybe that some people have the notion that I can do everything online. I can minister to people. I can share a sermon.
I mean, technically.
So I think it may create a little bit of a side effect, but I'm hoping most people miss the fellowship of church, the the ability.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, I was gonna switch it up. I was gonna change that word, but I was like, I give up. Nah, I think they also miss the ability to do kind of group ministry. I think it's nice to be able to invite someone like to a Bible study and have other people there, so it's not like you arguing with someone online. You're able to have that discussion with someone in person and have just a different feel and environment, because I think online a lot of stuff is lost in translation when you communicate with people.
Yeah, I want that one dude who was up in the comments
do.
to come to church. I don't care. It was one of the sermons, and this dude was just like going at it, like, and I was like, "What is happening?" And then remember, he like ended up calling the pastor.
Oh yeah, he did.
Like he ended up calling him like 20 times. He was like, "Man," he was like, "Bro, I'm still preaching."
It's like, no, we will discuss it not now, but right now.
Oh my god! So I mean, it's been that was interesting. So definitely I believe the Bible when it says do not forsake fellowship. I think fellowship is really important. And for those people who I remember I went through this once before, my aunt, where I stopped going to church physically when I was in my 20s. I remember my aunt telling me something like, when you go to church, sometimes it's not for you. Just like you being there can sometimes be uplifting to somebody else. Just them seeing you, right? And so she was like, it might not be that you need the word, but maybe it's that somebody needs to see you. And so that's always stuck with me, and I think that's something that sometimes we do forget and take for granted. Like, this idea like, man, I don't need church. I'm tired of being in this building, or I'm tired of doing blah, blah, blah. Because again, the ministry should be done by the people. And hopefully other people in the church join along. And hopefully the church has some ministries that they're doing already. But the fellowship, you're absolutely right. You can get the sermon online all day long. I like catching a good one from what's my man name from I can't think of his name. He was at Mount Olive in Georgia.
You talking about Bird?
No, not Bird. he done turned televangelist on me, man.
He got that, he got that mega church.
Yeah,
Wesley Knight.
Wesley Knight, that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely in.
Uh-oh. Am I frozen or is Zig frozen?
Enjoying.
Uh-oh. They're doing the robot, man.
Right. I think this between the two of us, who knows?
No. The audience is spoken.
Listen, it'll be all right. It'll be all over in the morning.
Word. So what ministry are you looking forward to doing? I saw.
Oh yeah, we did do our
about doing group ministries for 4 to 5 people in her home. That's pretty dope.
What was the survey?
I don't know the results of the survey.
You didn't check your email then. There was a survey.
Nah.
Yeah, there was a survey they sent out looking at ministries and like what would you be willing to do, and it was like the community garden. It was like I think tutoring was on there. I can't remember what all was on there. Yeah, for you people in the chat, copy and paste that in there. What was that? So yeah, I might be able to pull it up real quick. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. I checked off a few boxes about things I would be interested in doing. Sister Aberdeen was on me. She was like, Brother Purnell, I have not received your survey. So I made sure I turned it in. But yeah, Charles, you should have got it, bro.
No, I said, what's the results though?
I don't think maybe they'll talk about the results at the next board meeting.
Okay.
It came after the board meeting that they just had.
I see.
Aberdeen. The wonderful.
They sent it to me 2 or 3 times, Michelle said.
The auspicious.
I gotta check my email account.
I got it. Here you go. Let's see. So they said nutrition and vegetarian cooking classes. I did volunteer for that. Faith-based community garden. I think I volunteered for that.
Mm-hmm.
Weight control seminar. I might have volunteered for that. That sounds like something I see Frank's name all over that.
There you go, Frank.
Care for the elderly was one. Visiting and prayer of the sick, clothing and food assistance, ministry in crisis, bereavement. I think that's something that's definitely lacking. And I wish, I'm hoping that we could for real get off the ground. I've been thinking about some stuff for that too, especially after we did the GoFundMe joint. I think that should be like a regular staple for the church. And again, that's an honorable mention to the what was the name of the family again? They got my ties a couple times. The Sumter family. And so what was did we have a link for that still? It should still be in here, right?
I think it's on our Instagram.
Yeah. So if they haven't met their goal, I'm definitely going to make sure that happened today. So I think I've kind of always, I'm glad that you definitely thought about posting that up, because I have been thinking about that also. Like, it's the thought of like how many people use GoFundMe to like express their need. It's almost like that 13th Sabbath kind of thing that happens. Like this week's offering goes to blah, blah, blah. I think that should happen locally. What else was on here? Marriage enrichment seminar. I think we signed up for that. Did we sign up for that, Candace? There was parenting skills for children and adolescents, youth and peer pressure management. I didn't really understand that one. I might have clicked it. I don't know. Pathfinders, mentoring and counseling program for youth, substance abuse, and classes on the meaning of life.
There you go. That's a wide variety of range, but you know what's great is that that's all within the church's scope. So,
yeah, and
I mean that you listed, I don't know how many, definitely more than 10, and it's, you know, you could probably still be going. I mean, that's the power of the church. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we can touch, a lot of areas we can touch. Just like what the purpose of service was, you need volunteers, you need people to help support, to help make these ministries a reality.
Absolutely. So I think that's a wonderful thing. I love the passion that like Sister Aberdeen has, because even like with the community garden, like she hit me up like, hey, do you still got the information? And she was like, can you reach out? And I like reached out, and I was like, oh, I didn't get nobody. She was like, give me the number. And so she finally connected with him. So that was dope. But so I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think if the more stuff we do, I mean, remember I feel like before the pandemic, we were getting things rolling. You know, the Pathfinders was doing the hot dogs and hugs joint.
That was personal evangelism. That was all.
Oh, it was Pathfinders. It was Pathfinders.
Sister Crank was over there, you know.
That was Pathfinders.
She was but she had a lot of things like that she was getting going, and the community service too. Talene was getting stuff going, and then boom, pandemic.
Boom, put a halt to, but it shouldn't have. And I think that's the thing. You know, there was definitely a lot. Everybody just froze.
Yep, just freezing.
So, yeah. And then out of the pandemic came the Sabbath morning show.
Yep.
How about that? So, yeah, man. And then we so that's happening. Church is back, like it never left, but actually just a little bit. And then we'll have the pastor join us in a little bit. Talk about his new sermon series. So
I heard it's like 20 parts.
I think he did say it was like at minimum 8.
He's doing a whole. What's that?
Yeah.
That's a saga. That's not a series. That's a saga.
At minimum, there will be 8. So, and you know he can talk. So
Yeah, man.
it's. I mean, but it should be. This should be a good ride.
You got the graphics? You want to show the graphics?
Talking about, yeah, he's talking about Exodus. Let me see. And not the Bob Marley Exodus. What was it? Let me pop it up.
The Exodus.
Exodus. So yeah.
Yeah, man, the graphics look pretty dope, you know. There they are. Boom.
New sermon series coming weekly. He says a weekly series. You don't want to miss that.
You got that Wakanda font, you know, going, and
oh, you peeped that?
Yeah, I peeped it. You know, a futuristic Exodus.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. The subtitles, "The Road to My Redemption." And so I try, you know, when I put the sermons together, I try not to actually listen too much. Because I want to like experience it when everybody else experiences it. So I'm like, I'll like fast forward through to the like, let me just get to the sermon part where I need to insert these scriptures. Mm-hmm. And then like I'll kind of like toss it to the side. So
so you don't know no spoilers is what you're saying. You don't know.
Nope.
Oh, not on the people, man. People want to know. They want to know what they're getting into.
Nope, I ain't got nothing. It's gonna be good. One thing is interesting is that I can honestly say I've not heard a bad sermon from him. Which is any sermon bad?
Well,
yes.
Yeah. There are some bad sermons out there.
There are some bad sermons.
You white pastors, take note. We talking about you.
Right. But I have not heard a bad word from him. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I feel like, oh man, I'm telling you, bro, we gotta we got a couple ideas. We'll have to get together afterwards. You know, my conversation with Pastor Bartley yesterday was pretty dope. And I'm hoping that we could do something with that. And then the sensual pastor, Kimberly Bolgen, you know what I'm saying? When you have conversations like that, you're like, bro, like this is, you know, I think we for real do like evangelism and like sermons like a disservice because it always goes in this box. And I'm like, wow, like that was an amazing conversation. Every conversation we have with Victor is always like, you know, I was talking to Lovely after the last time Victor was on, and she was like, "Are you okay?"
But hey, man, I got beef for you, man. You was on the show blasting Wichita, Kansas, man, doing us black folk that live there a disservice. How you gonna say this?
How many black people live in Wichita?
Enough. You know what I'm saying? There's enough for us to have a church, evidently, right?
How many churches you got?
Adventist churches or churches?
I'm like, man, I don't know you. Well, I didn't even know you was from Wichita till you.
From is too strong. I lived there as a child, you know. So it was.
And how many black people was there when you lived there?
There was a good amount, you know. It wasn't like Detroit or something out here, but there was enough of us out there to have a black church, you know. Shout out to my fam out there, you know. Haven't been there in a minute, but it's good to see that they're still rocking under the new name, New Beginnings.
New Beginnings.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good to have had such good sermons over throughout the pandemic. There wasn't no, oh man, I can't preach y'all. This pandemic, this COVID got me. Nah,
And
he
they
was
were,
preaching
yeah.
through the pandemic, man. So without a Churchill spit, he was preaching through the wire over there.
That's what I was about to say, through the wire.
He was he got the word, man. That's always a blessing to be able to get a good word in and get something that motivates you, inspires you, and helps keep you going and challenges you too. It's not all just what's that prosperity gospel or
Yeah.
that feel good gospel. Nah,
It ain't all sugar drops.
you got that fire and heat. You know what I mean?
Boom. Let us know in the comments if you heard some whack sermons during the pandemic.
What's the most? Yeah, that's a good question. What's the most whack sermon you've heard?
Yo,
without revealing who it came from.
Yo, me and Japheth, we went to like a constituency meeting, and we sitting at the table, and we were talking. They were like, "What church you go to?" Like, we just mingling with people, and they was like, "Oh, that's church you go to?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they asked us. They was like, "Have you ever heard this sermon?" And everybody it was a table full of people. Everybody heard this same sermon. That's like,
was it good? Like, sometimes you got to get, sometimes they use repeats. They pull out an old sermon. Maybe they know it's certified platinum, so they want to reuse it to every church they go to.
Yo, it was bananas. I think the I don't even want to go too far. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
She said, "Nah, I wasn't worth repeating. I just try to give it the benefit of the doubt." Now I've heard some.
Know what I'm talking about.
I definitely have heard some whack sermons. My pops, man, my dad. Every sermon he's listened to for years. I don't know how long this goes back. He always takes notes, so he has like these books full of notes from sermons that he's taken over the years. I know it's a whack sermon where my dad closes his book. Like, he has his pen out, and then he's like, within 10 minutes, he's like, nah. He's just like, there's nothing worth taking note from this sermon. And I was like,
wow.
I feel you. It's
yeah, I can. That's a good measure. I'm gonna have to go. Remember, remember old dude?
Oh yeah. He does the point and shakes his head. Yeah.
Get up and walk out. It's like, what you come to church for, man?
I don't think I've ever walked out on a sermon. I think I've definitely zoned out. I've definitely read other books, but I don't think I've ever walked out, man. That's crazy. So let us know in the comment section the most whack sermon you've heard. We ain't never heard no whack sermons from Pastor Ron though. He's in the studio now, man. He's we could feel the fire coming off of him.
Feel it. The heat. It's too hot.
It's too hot in here, man.
Right, let's bring him on.
And that is true. I like that. Good reminder, Candace. I can always find something positive from a sermon, but that's a very small thing to say about Pastor Ron, because it's more than just one thing. He got more than one thing, man. He got all of them. What up, Pastor Ron?
I literally came on, and the very first thing I heard was, "Let us know what's your wackest sermon you've ever heard."
Speaking of whack sermons, we got
right. Speaking of whack sermons,
whack sermons. Let's bring on the wackest.
What did y'all bring me on here to do?
Hey, y'all remember Wickety Whack? Remember that?
That's what I'm gonna get that soundbite and play that the next time I heard a whack sermon. It's like in the middle of the conference.
What's up, fellas? First of all, I didn't know there was merch. For this show. And I kind of want one actually. But I got a big head though, y'all. My head is huge. I got a dome.
It's okay, it's a snapback.
Yeah, you got plenty of room. There you go.
Bro, I don't think you understand.
Pastor Ron's like, I start at the last one. I need more.
The last one, man. What's up, fellas?
Oh, what's up? Yo, did you catch the show last week?
I did not.
Oh, you got. Do you know Pastor Kim?
I do know her. I know her. I'm really close with her. I'm cool with her brother. He's a pastor as well. And he actually just moved out to California. He and I pastored for about 2 years together in Seattle. And I think she and I, Pastor Kim, I think we crossed paths at Andrews. I think she was ahead of me. But yeah, man, she's dope preacher, man.
Yo, you got to check it out. Watch it with your wife. Change your life.
Okay. Change my life. All right, I'm gonna do it, man. I usually watch either live or on demand, and I just didn't get around to it this week. My apologies, but I'm gonna do it though.
Now we understand you was over there preparing that new sermon series, 30 parts.
100-part series.
Lead us to this time next year. Yeah, man.
The 100-part series. There it is.
Hey, man, it's almost disrespectful to go through the whole book of Exodus with just like 2 parts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could do it, I reckon.
To infinity and beyond.
There you go. There you go, man. It's an 8-part series. ... You know what I mean? Because
listen. I think that's amazing when you can say, like, I think this is a boost, man. It's a big up, because to be able to be like, I think I'm gonna do 8.
Yeah. I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, talking about whack pastors, man. I had this pastor once. We used to be
eons
like,
ago.
Why I'm like, man, why does it sound so repetitive? Like I'm like, bro, it sounds like he just like reading from a manual. And one day we was in his office, like talking, and he had this big binder, and that binder was just full of sermons. Like, and that's what he would use. And then one day somebody, I'm not sure what possessed the person to do this. Somebody like Googled the title of his sermon and they found it online.
I think I fell off.
Wow. Man. It'd be like that, people, not everyone's gift is preaching,
Hey, maybe
was a
I
good.
Yo, go back.
He said go back.
Just acting up. I'm serious, man. All I heard was he had a big binder. That's all I heard, man. I gotta hear the rest of the story, please.
No, he had a big binder, and we figured out that binder was full of his sermons. He didn't have no, like, it was like nothing was new, and he would go to the pulpit and he would like go through. I'm like, oh, like, man, that's a big notebook, like, dude. And then somebody Googled his like a title, and they found it online. Like he was downloading sermons. And it'd be one thing if you could deliver it and repackage it.
Yeah.
But he didn't even do that.
Yeah, because people always tell me, when they hear a sermon, always, humble yourself, Ron. But once in a while, people tell me, hey, man, like, that was a really good sermon thought. Can I use it? And I always tell them, I don't own that. That belongs to God. Like, if God gave it to me, but I don't own the copyrights of that. Just do me a favor. If I share a story about myself, don't put your name in that. You know what I mean? Like I was married once to Francis. No, you won't, Negro. My wife. People do that though. People do that, man. Like, but apart from that, if it's a theological idea, man, by all means. I think about the story in the Old Testament, David, when he was running from Saul, and he goes into the temple, and the only bread that was there was fresh bread, but it was only for the priest, and only the priest could eat it. And at that, they could only eat it 7 days later, right? So they couldn't even eat it as fresh. But then David comes in, he lies, and he says, "I'm on mission for the king." Nah, you're not. You're running from him, right? Like he wants to kill you, but he lies to the priest, and all the priest saw was, you know what? I don't know about your story, but all I see is a hungry boy, and he feeds him. He goes against the law now. And he gives David fresh bread. And so I wonder, for me, when I read that story, I'm like, man, I don't want to give folks stale bread, bro. Like, I want to give them something fresh. And watch this. He leaves the temple and he lies again. He goes, yo, man, I don't have a weapon. Is there a weapon in the temple? And the priest goes, actually, funny you ask. The only weapon here is the one that you took from Goliath. Goliath's sword is here. So watch this. David went hungry and unequipped. He leaves full with fresh bread and equipped to fight, man. That's how I want folks to leave, like you know what I'm saying? Like church or at least my sermons, man. At least you fresh bread and you got a sword or you know, some.
There you go. You see that, folks?
Look at that.
This man is preaching through bad internet. The internet can't even stop him.
Hey, that was from the dome. That was
Oh, he freestyling sermons right here.
That was like, you see that? You see that, you whack pastors out here?
Yo, you should get pastors on it to spit. You know what I'm saying? See, you know what I mean?
We want to hear a fresh sermon off the dome. That's gonna be the tip.
That was the 5 fingers of life right there.
Right, exactly. That was a freestyle sermon, man. We got it. That's gonna be the new thing. Like you said, Pastor Ron Winner, the next pastor that comes on, they got to give us a sermon. Off the dome.
You got a freestyle sermon.
Freestyle. That's a dope idea, man. Actually, come to think of it, I'm not gonna lie, right here, man. Anyways, but I'm excited for this series, man. My journey, my life, my exodus, the road to redemption. And yeah, man, God has put some stuff on my heart. Shout out to our graphics team, Purnell. And I'm just excited for it, man. So we start today. Hey, y'all want to know the title of my sermon?
Yeah.
Basket case.
Basket case.
Okay. I wonder where he's going with that. Beginning of Exodus? I don't know. You know.
I mean, but aren't you already telling us where you're going with it?
Okay. No, I ain't going.
Spoiler alert. You and these spoilers, man.
Teasing. It's not spoiler. It's tease. I'm teasing, man. But yeah, I'm excited, man. And so yeah, 8 weeks plus probably. But I think God's gonna. And when I say my journey, my life, my exodus, I want you to put yourself in that phrase. It's as we go through this series, look introspectively and just peruse your life, your past, your present, and possibly your future. I think it's going to be a good one. So, yeah, man, hang on to your seats. Yeah, basket. Oh, look at how fast this guy is, man. Gee whiz, man. Sorcery a little bit up in here. read my mind, but yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing, bro.
So check it out. So then, so another special announcement. We had that you were part of. So we just ran our tribute video. I don't know if you caught that. That was pretty dope. Back down memory lane. This has been 1 year since we've started doing this.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy how time is just. Isn't that crazy though, man? Like back when we were high schoolers, time went by super slow.
Right.
and then you hit your 20s, and it's like, whoop. Yeah, it's crazy to me, man. A year, praise God.
1 year, we were right, and so it's like almost a year since the church stopped. A year since the in-person church, right?
Yeah.
And a year since we've been doing this. Year for COVID. It's crazy. So, and then part of the tribute video, you were our first guest, official guest.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep. And then for today, you'll be our last guest.
I'm not a fan, bro, of that.
So we talked about it, went through a couple things. Maybe we can bring it back in some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
But the Sabbath morning show we'll take a hiatus. We won't say the
hiatus,
store,
man.
We won't say the store is closed. But
okay. Let me ask. Are you guys gonna hiatus? Okay. Are you guys going to Africa? You know, Dave Chappelle. Are y'all just...
I think so, man. I think all this money you giving me is too much.
Making me crazy. So I gotta go off.
So we going to Africa.
But all jokes aside, man, fellas, this has been such a blessing to me. I pop it on every Saturday except for last week, but it is something I looked forward to for the entire year. It actually carried me through, man. COVID was rough on so many levels, and of course, I'm not going to compare my experience to those that have actually lost loved ones and jobs and so forth. So my story is nothing compared, but man, this was such a respite. It was such a bout of fresh air, to hear you two brothers not be held by any parameters or boundaries of the church. Just share your heart and your thoughts and challenge ideas and philosophies and theologies, even challenge each other. I thought that was so beautiful when you guys would disagree but respectfully just honor each other, and the guests that you had on. It was such a God thing. There are a few times in life where you could identify that was not y'all, that was God. Like God placed that, and so that's why I struggle. I think it's such a gift to the world, to the audience, certainly the Adventists that have been listening, and so I do hope you guys come back, and I do hope that God inspires you in what He may want you all to do. But I'm so proud of you guys, man. This has been a blessing, and people try to, when I meet people, they're like, "Oh man, your church is doing that podcast," and the flesh wants to say, "Yeah, man, that's my church." You know what I'm saying?
Really? Then what a subscribe is that, son? What a subscribe is that? What a likes? What a share?
Well, but it's real talk though. Pastor has always been a supporter. He's always been the one pushing us. He's always been like, yeah, he says we collectively, but in the supportive way. He's like, when we doing the next episode? When we, he's always been our biggest promoter, man.
I would send you a guest, and y'all be like, "Hang on your guest."
I was just about to say that. It was like he was like, "Yo, you know who we gotta have on here?" I was like,
but he was our biggest. He's our biggest supporter, man. Like I always got love for Pastor Ron for this show, for always being like, "Hey, man, you gotta do the show. You got it. We gotta get it on there." He's giving us 5-star ratings on the podcast. He's promoting us, man. So always,
absolutely.
We feel the love, man. That's why you're gonna get some free merch. You're gonna be one of the first people to get free.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming. So I think definitely it will live on in merchandise at a minimum.
Yeah. And on demand, right? On demand.
On demand and all that. And like you said, it's not gone forever. I just know
all these places.
Yep, you can find it everywhere. Everywhere podcasts can be heard. Facebook, worldwide. YouTube.
Yes, sir.
And, it's a hiatus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I needed a break to refresh, get my mind together. And, with the church reopening, we have to look at from a logistics standpoint, when can we do the show?
Right, launch
it. So kind of all of these external and internal pressures to some extent, we got to revamp the show so that we can better support our audience in the future.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, we definitely have a couple. I mean, we'll definitely do some stuff, and we're going to do a think tank to figure out how to extrapolate some of the stuff that we're thinking, to bring it to fruition. But this has definitely been an amazing ride for me spiritually. Man, like my whole mindset on church and what it is and what it ain't has been blown up. And so I'm definitely encouraged by what we've done. I appreciate your encouragement. It's been man. This has been one of the best church experiences that I've had consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. And and you guys are not going to give yourself credit, so I'll give it for you. I mean, this was you guys. I mean, you guys honored sort of this call, this idea to do it, and you launched out on faith. I mean, and you took this thing by the horns, and you ran with it, and you were committed to it. I learned so much from this series, so much from the conversations. I laughed a lot. I got emotional, man. When you guys had Daryl Bigger on, that was really powerful. I've gotten ideas. Actually, I'm gonna reach out to. I haven't even told him this yet, but I'm gonna reach out to Pastor Victor, man, because in this series on Exodus, he had mentioned something that just blew my mind about when Moses, what do we say, murdered?
It wasn't murder.
It wasn't murder, and I'm like, I don't think I want to unpack that. I want Victor, so I'm going to ask him to be part of that. But I would not have known about that unless it was for your podcast. So kudos to both of y'all, man. And people don't understand that you guys have lives. You're busy. You have your husband, your father. You have careers, and to do this, has just been you've gifted that to us, and so thank you for that. Maybe some of my favorite podcasts actually put out. I'm just putting it this, here. They put out a podcast once a month, and so they throw a lot into that one podcast. Put it out once a month. Maybe you do once a month. Maybe once a quarter. I don't know.
Or maybe we can do. You talking about Pastor Victor? I'm saying I don't know if he's gonna appreciate your perspective on the word. So maybe we do a pastor's versus.
Hey. Well, I don't want to go against Victor. That's just suicide mission, brother. No, I'm not gonna do that. I love my life. Okay, I don't want to end my career. Okay, how about a conversation, reason together? You know what I mean?
That's funny. It's like a rapper saying, like, I don't want to. Don't put me up against Andre 3000.
Don't put me after. I don't want to go after. Let me go before.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, man. Victor, come on here. As we peruse this Victor, man, this deep old long delayed voice, you know what I mean? But nah, man,
he got that Obama talk.
Yeah, he do, man. Get to the point.
And we definitely appreciate all of our listeners. We see y'all in the comments even now. We love the support, and we love that you enjoyed it. You guys kept us going. That's been one of the biggest discussions right now, even how the future of the show looks, because we're like, oh, we could do pre-recorded, but then we wouldn't be able to interact immediately with y'all. And that's what we like. We like the conversation that we get to have with you as well as our guests. So definitely keep us in prayers to figure out the next steps. But we appreciate y'all. If you didn't hear it from anyone today, you heard it from us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And that's what that video was about. That montage was just like an appreciation video for like every guest. I'm gonna have to update it with that sexual pastor.
Help us, Lord. Help us, Jesus.
Of course. But yeah, so it's been fun. It's been an amazing ride, and it just, like you said, it only seems fitting that our biggest hype man, our biggest support, we got to bring you on the show to close out this season, and to get your thoughts. And hopefully, like I said, when we come back, we're gonna have some sponsors. Maybe we'll even have The Chosen. Shout out to The Chosen.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Series. Oh, I love that.
He got big dreams, big aspirations.
That series is emotional. It's really powerful. Yeah. I would encourage people, again, that's the beauty of podcasting and YouTube. This is not going away, right? So Sabbath afternoon show. But this is your recordings are not going away. I cannot stress this enough. The how rich each of these podcasts were, deep, filled with just immense insight. So during this hiatus, however long, I recommend people go back to the beginning. I guarantee you are gonna be blessed with every single episode. And please don't just go back to it for yourself. Share, man. Like so that's the beauty of it, man. And it will change your life. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Listen to it. Re-listen to it. There are nuggets in there. There are gems that are gonna blow you away. I really believe that because it did it for me. So. Thank you guys. You honor me by having me back on. I thought it was going to be a funeral, but I hear life, coming back, resurrection. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's what we all about, the resurrection, man.
Hey,
we gotta be.
So, but I'm excited, man. I gotta let y'all go, man. I gotta hop out to this. Get ready for church. Hey, yo, quick story, man. Real quick. I don't know if I could share this, but I was a little concerned this morning. I haven't put on my church clothes in about a year, and I was concerned, bro, if it was gonna fit. You know what I mean?
But do your clothes ever really fit?
Okay, you need to back up. This is not tight. I am not wearing. Well, I guess they're a little.
Exactly. That's what your concern was. You're like, these are a little too tight. You went too far in the closet and got your date night pants.
These are too tight.
Too tight, but it fit, man. It fit. I'm blessed. The Lord blessed me. There is breath. There is breath in areas that need to breathe. Is what I'm saying. But yeah. So just a little secret, just between us. No one needs to know.
Remember our Harlem Nights?
Yeah, gotta breathe real small. Yeah, gotta breathe real small, man.
Yeah, man. So it fit, man. And listen, if you send me merch, I'm gonna send you merch. I have some tight stuff for y'all. Both of y'all. You know what I mean?
No thanks.
So you got to do it, brother. You got to do it. So
Listen, all you got to do
promise.
is just remember to jump when you put your pants on.
There you go.
There you go.
Static, man. Anyways, love y'all, man. Love your audience, bro. And yeah, man, blessings to you all. And we are gonna wait. We're waiting with expectations for what God's gonna do in the future, man.
Absolutely.
So,
Don't wait on us. Wait on the Lord.
either way on the podcast. All right, I'm out of here, man.
All right, thanks for stopping by, man. Peace.
Yes, sir. Love you.
Y'all heard that new sermon series from the Tight Pants Pastor?
Pastor Ron's gonna bring that heat. That starts in what, 30 minutes, and that will be on Facebook, YouTube, and in person, right?
That's what, I'm so happy it's in person because you don't need a Zoom no more.
There you go.
How about that? No more Zoom. No more.
Zoom had its purpose, you know. Shout out to Zoom.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Did you make some money off of that?
I don't want to talk about it. Oh man,
like no. But yeah, you know, I've definitely been appreciating this ride. This has been an amazing ride, You know, it was going to be. I had to bring it. I had to shave, bring it back in line with the poster.
There you go, man. So everything from the logo was thought out, man. So yeah, we're gonna be in the studio cooking something up in the kitchen.
Yeah, man, I'm thinking like I do like the idea of like hosting like discussions between pastors or just people who carry like strong thoughts about certain things, right? So if you have conflicting views on something, like, you know, you got one like today, right? Pastor Ron's talking about how him and Victor essentially kind of look at Moses' situation differently. One is saying he did commit murder, and the other one saying he didn't. I think about, I mean, even to expand it, you know, there's definitely different views. My view on all of this is that we are all Christians, those who are believers in Christ, in his death and in his resurrection. And so like even expanding and, you know, to just bring on other people. You know, I got this another pastor that I know. I think he goes to like a non-denominational church. He checked this out and he was like, yo, you got to get me on there.
They got to put me on.
You got to get me on there. So I'm like, people got stuff to say, man. And if we're all believers in Christ, you know, it's definitely of my view that the road and the pathway of church Christians should be to do like this. We should all be converging to the same point, which is the return of Jesus and pushing everybody to remember like he's coming again, and we can all be saved if not, we can all be saved if we do the work.
Yep. So let us know in the comments what your thoughts are, what your ideas are. We definitely listen to our supporters. And like I said, we're looking for how this will transfer in the future, you know, with church starting back up and just with things changing, we got to step up our game, you know, bring the Sabbath Morning Show to the next level. So in order to do that, we got to take some time off and come back fresh, you know, with a new state of mind, all of that good stuff. So
better, stronger, faster. We're going to come back to $6 Million podcast.
That's right.
So, but yeah, man, I know we had talked about talking about some stuff, but we definitely did. I feel like we did justice today.
Yeah, I think we talked about what we needed to talk about.
Talked about what we need to talk about. But just in case you want to remember who we are, this is the Sabbath Morning Show with Chuck and Zig.
Yep.
Watching that montage, bro. Listen, somebody told me they cried watching it.
He's Tyson.
Oh, for real. I'm like, yo, like she was like, She was like, I cried. And I was like, what? She was just like, and it wasn't meant to be like a farewell kind of video. It was meant to be like, yo, it's been a year. Like, look at all the stuff that's happened over a year. Look at all the conversations we had. And she said she cried during like the segment for Chaplain Bigger.
Yeah.
And
he's one of my favorite guests. I just remember like listening. At some point, I was like, I'm supposed to be asking questions, but it's so good. I'm just listening.
He's just a great storyteller. You like, oh, and yo, like I'm telling you, that's why I picked that clip where he was like because we was all in, like
exactly.
he was talking about 9/11, and he was talking to this lady, and it sounded like it was about to be like the most profound thing you ever heard in your life. And it was like, I'm like, what did you tell her? He's like, you know what? I don't remember.
Man.
But I think the most important thing that he said was from that segment is that, you know, he just listened to her. And sometimes that can be the most important thing you say to people is just to listen.
Yeah, and I hope, you know, that's something that we've, I think, shown people is just listening, asking people questions, conversing with and understanding their perspective. And I think we were able to show the different thought within the church. You know, it's not necessarily a singular thought that everybody thinks this way. And I think, you know, we've been able to see that and see Adventism in a bunch of different areas, you know, ranging from chaplaincy to pastoring in the South to pastoring, you know, in Denver and in Seattle, and, you know, having all these different in Wichita, yeah, having all these different regional, you know, differences and cultural differences and, you know, spiritual understandings and interpretations and all of this, all within the world of Adventism. I think that's what makes the church awesome, is that, you know, while, you know, all of us, you know, are Bible believing Christians, there's still this, you know, these factors that impact how we see God and how we see each other. So hopefully we've been able to shed some light on that. And I believe we have, and I believe we continue to do that once the show comes back.
Absolutely, man. I agree with you 100%. 100%. And I think, you know, my hope is that people will continue to just grow, right? I know I've grown during this time period, and you know, this was just us being us. Like, this is the kind of stuff we talk about all day anyways, right? This kind of stuff we do. We'll go somewhere random, and if there's a pastor there, we'll pull them to the side and be like, yo, what you think about this? What you think about that? And
it's true, because anytime we had a guest pastor, we would always, you know, go sit down at potluck and chop it up with them. So that's the Sabbath morning show has always been and always will be.
This is what we do. That's just how we do. That's the Obama quote. That's how I do. Oh, you muted.
I would say, with that being said,
ain't nothing else to say.
That's it. So that's why you don't have to fear the bad news. Look at that. Don't fear the bad news.
I know, right? It's coming soon. You gonna be able to pick this up.
Yep. Don't fear the bad news.
Right?
From the side. It's on the sides. Look at that. Sabbath morning show with the logos. Boom.
That was like, yo, we got some definitely gonna have some stuff coming to keep. Hopefully we can do some stuff here and there to keep people satiated. You know, not exactly satisfied, but maybe a little satiated. So
yeah, keep your heart and mind focused. You know, I don't know if y'all even know that, you know, this little saying we do came from the Bible, man. I think we asked the quiz about it.
Psalms 112.
Yeah.
Not 112, but Psalms 112.
Yeah, Psalms 112. Don't forget the beginning part.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I definitely think that this has helped me learn to just always trust the Lord, right? Like we've done some things, and like this thing, like absolutely was like the embodiment of of trusting in the Lord, man.
Yeah, it's I mean, and that's a very interesting, point. The always trust in the Lord is tough because it's always, not sometimes,
Yeah.
not maybe, not when it feels good only, even when it feels bad, always trust in the Lord. And I think that's something, that I'm working on and dealing with. And it's interesting that by just because I was actually looking for a scripture to, close out our show, that was the one that that came out. And we went back and forth on different ways to close the show, our kind of ending, saying, but that's the one that we stuck with, and I think it's fitting, man. Always trust in the Lord, even when there's bad news, even when we hear all this crazy stuff in the world, always trust in the Lord.
Yeah, I mean that is a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
and the idea that you like don't fear,
right.
like just the idea of saying like don't fear, like this, because there's always bad news, like always, whether it's in your life, whether it's somebody else's life.
Listen,
whether-
man, we fear the bad news sometimes. Black people so much we don't even check our mail. We be like, nah, that looks like a bill. I'm not even gonna open it.
You'd be like, who they calling?
Nope. That looks like telemarketing. No, not
Look like
bill
bad
collector.
news to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Look like bad news to me. Like, nah, I'm straight. So yeah, man, this is you kind of just like don't want it to end. Like I mean, even like some of the shows, you'd be like, nah, I just want to keep talking. Like,
yeah, it's true, man. But I mean, the reason we can't fear the bad news is what? It's because we know the end. We know the true ending. It's not all bad. May take a while for us to get there, but it's not. It's not the end. Just like this isn't the end. So that being said, we appreciate y'all.
100%.
Love y'all, and we will see y'all again
on the other side.
Peace.
One way or another. I was trying to pull up the thing real quick, and I was trying to make a real quick graphic and throw up like the whole scripture. So it's like that's why I was like dragging it out. Like,
nah, it's all good. Go check out the farewell montage.
Absolutely.
I think y'all be blessed by it.
You will be blessed. Also check out our motto, right? From Psalms 112, 6-8. It says, for the righteous will never be moved. He will be remembered forever. He is not afraid of bad news. His heart is firm, trusting in the Lord. His heart is steady. He will not be afraid until he looks in triumph on his adversary.
Boom.
So this has been the Sabbath Morning Show.
I'm Chuck.
That's Chuck. I'm Zig.
We out.
Peace.